Okay, quick video for you. Reasons why I installed a catch can, and I'm going to show you that right here. You can see in some of my other videos, the UPR billet oil catch can. Now I'm not going to bore you with another install because there are a ton of those videos out there, but what I didn't see in the videos is necessarily why a lot of people were convinced to put those on. So let's get right into it. So guys, full disclaimer, I'm obviously not a mechanic, but I love taking care of my cars, and I'm totally open to putting on things that will prolong the longevity, you know, for your car, and I want to make sure that it's taken care of. So I was always like, why are people putting these catch cans on? To me, the engineers of the vehicle and designers of the engine would have installed one to begin with, and I haven't really seen a lot of counter arguments as to why manufacturers don't put one in, except for one where they say most people forget to change their oil at 5,000 miles or 10,000 or whatever the recommended is for their vehicle, and they would probably forget to empty the catch can. That was one of the counter arguments. I don't know about that. So I have to tell you, I did a lot of research, I did a lot of reading, and I have to understand really what's going on as to why I'm putting this on and what's being caught. Because if you're objectively measuring the effectiveness, and these are working just by the amount of fluid or whatever's collected in there, well, that doesn't tell me anything. All right, guys, so here's what I understand. Crankcase has pressure, right? Pistons go up and down 4 times. Down, air, fuel, mixture. Back up, compression. Back down is the power phase where that explodes, ignites, creates the power. Back up, it vents the exhaust. During that compression and power phase, there is blow-by from the buildup of that pressure by design. Blows by the seals around the pistons within the chamber.
When you have combustion strokes, you're going to have that high pressure on top of the piston, and some of that high pressure, called blow-by, can come past that piston and it'll pressurize your crankcase, the area underneath the piston.
So the engineers already knew that there'd be some blow-by to protect the crankcase and the motor that would leave the PCV valve, positive crankcase valve, I think is what it is, positive pressure crankcase valve, PCV valve, back into the intake to be burned off. So the real question is, if you're collecting that, are you saving the engine from any additional damage? I'm gonna reference a couple of videos because there are some cool videos that actually show what the collection of that debris over long periods of time in the intake side can actually cause some clogging and misfiring, and I've even seen some reports of knocking.
Now with port fuel injection, like on my S2000, this isn't that big of a deal because the port injectors actually spray fuel, which goes over these intake valves and helps to keep them clean. With direct injection engines, you don't have that fuel cleaning the valves, and thus they're more likely to have deposits form. Moving on, what does science tell us about positive crankcase ventilation systems and how they affect intake valve deposits with direct injection engines? So I found a very cool study published in Society of Automotive Engineers, and what did they find? Well, crazy enough, the intake deposits forming on valves 2, 4, 5, and 7 was dramatically less than when they did have the PCV system routing to the intake manifold. So what does this prove? Well, if you can reroute those fumes and effectively capture that oil, like in an oil catch can, then you can dramatically improve the amount of intake valve deposits that are going to form on your engine.
And so I think that those owners that want to have their car for 80, 90, 100,000 miles or beyond are really encouraged to have a catch can. I think the majority of owners, though, are probably not going to own their car long enough to reap any benefits. And remember, this does nothing for horsepower. There's no gains. It's more of an engine dressing. You know, I think there's kind of 2 components. One is it looks good, and 2, there is some functionality to it. And I collected about probably 10 to 15 milliliters after about 4,000 miles. And I guess I saved the engine from, you know, having to burn off that gunk, and hopefully it reaps some benefits down the road. So here you go. You can see it sits right here. This hose used to just go straight from here right into here, right? So basically we bypassed the PCV valve into the catch can. This will filter it out. All the debris and other gunk drops down into here. The rest of the air comes back through here, back into the intake. Pretty simple design, pretty cool. And I think that if you're on the fence, do some research, make sure you know what you're doing, but it's an easy install. It doesn't void your warranty. And I think that it's a good way to take care of your car. And I think those down the road would appreciate you having one. All right, you guys, so there you have it. 4 guys talking cars, quick update on my oil catch can. My brother's got one as well on his. Easy install. We'll include the link below, plus the one video that I used for reference. And hopefully you guys like it. You guys take care. Till next video. All right, bye.